Welcome back to HBO Girls Rewatch. I'm Amelia Rataller.
And I'm Evan Lazarus.
And for our audio listeners, please listen to these sounds. Good soup. We did it. We've been waiting years, months even.
This sound was viral on TikTok and we did nothing about it.
I
Just
know.
FYI.
Last night, some gay guy cornering me being like, let's talk about marketing strategy.
For the pod?
For my whole life, for the pod, for Girl Church, for everything.
Wait, I'm kind of desperate to know one or two strategies he gave you. It's very Charlie XCX coded to get a marketing strategy from a gay guy.
So we're recording this the day following the release of Charlie XCX featuring Lorde of Girls So Confusing. And can I just say, this song is everything girls is.
Yes, someone today posted being like, so glad this song is so amazing. I wish it was in the show Girls. It would have killed as a needle drop in the show.
Oh my God. Imagine the season 2 episode where they're dancing on my own. Imagine an ending like that where one of them goes to the room and plays this track and you're like, damn.
Yeah, I would love to see it when Hannah's on the beach at the end of season 1.
Eating cake. You know what is so funny though? It's girls are so confusing, but in Girls it's just nope, Jessa cheated, fucked Adam. It's not so confusing. It's not whatever.
Wait, these girls were actually kind of confusing me this episode.
This episode made me cry.
I was crying, but also
I was dehydrated, so the tears didn't come out. But I was crying. It was a dry heave.
It's very Adam throwing up at a sleepover and swallowing it.
Oh my God, why was What's Her Butt throwing up?
Oh yeah, that again, girl, so confusing to be a girl.
Jessa in the episode randomly throws up, but I think she just feels sick, lovesick.
Yeah,
well, we'll get into it with our guest. But how are you? What's up? What's up?
One really specific change that has happened in Williamsburg since this TV show's come out is the revolution of gay bars in this specific area.
I thought you were going to say the elevator at the Lorimer stop is finally live.
Was it under construction?
It was under construction. Remember in January we had our live podcast and we were Googling and you saw an image of it still being under construction.
Yeah, you're so right. It took about 8 to 10 years.
But now it's finally published. It's
live. Really gorgeous, by the way. It's so much glass involved.
Yeah, I'm so excited for people who need to use the elevator there. They're free. But anyways, there's gay bars now.
Well, there's always been gay bars, but it's just been metropolitan. But since this episode, we've actually gotten 3 new gay bars in that one area.
I have to say, every bar in that area is pretty gay.
It's pretty gay now.
Well, is anybody in Williamsburg straight? Because I have to be honest, even the straightest spaces are at least bi-curious. But maybe it's just Pride Month.
I think Pride Month you have to be a little bi-curious.
I think because of lesbians being pop stars, everybody's a little bit bi now.
Oh, did you see Chappell Roan on
Jimmy Fallon? Yeah, Epic Sauce.
Yeah, you actually, you did make a video about it.
I already posted it on Girl Church LLC. Follow the account for more memes and
so it's
Chappell
two people
content.
you love the most in this world kind of in one video.
Yeah, because everybody knows, of course, that I love Jimmy Fallon and I always will, even though the haters tell me not to.
I had this really specific revelation recently that every single scientific discovery we've ever had in our lifetimes they come from 2 identical twins that were strapped for cash.
Oh my God, wait, can I tell you? So in college, I went to school with these twins that played younger Blake Lively in A Simple Favor, because she has twins, but one of them dies. These are the girls I was in class with. I opened up Facebook last night drunk, and what do I see? These 2 are competing on the Amazing Race Canada together. I was like, yes, girls, I am rooting for them so hard. I want them to be famous twins. They would be so good at it. They already are so good at it, but I think Amazing Race is the perfect next step. Yeah,
they're so good at being twins.
They're the perfect because they're so blonde and they're just hey.
Blonde twins can do anything.
They're literally Epic Sauce. I'm rooting for you, Lauren and Ashley.
Wait, so a girl I went to college with is an Amazing Race American edition?
No. Well, can we shout out really quick? Listener of the pod, Teeny. Hey,
Teeny.
So Teeny came to our live show last December and they were telling me that they love Survivor too. And they're like, I think I'm going to be on it one day. And I was like, yeah, you so are. And then they were, wait, did I already talk about this on the pod? Anyways, they're going to be on the new season of Survivor, which starts in 1 month.
I love manifestation. I was talking to a girl yesterday. She's like, I was like, you smell so amazing. She goes, oh, I'm wearing manifestation oil. I had to walk away from the conversation.
You're like, I need to get some air. Yeah. Manifestation oil. How do I not already know about that?
Isn't that interesting? I guess because there's a summer solstice, the energy was particularly pungent that day.
I have to say, I'm in an amazing mood. So last night I had Girl Church.
Yeah, your stand-up show.
My stand-up show where it's all girls. And we met some listeners of the pod and 2 girls who managed the Madewell in Williamsburg.
Love those girls. And they couldn't stop telling me about how I could get 20% off at Madewell in Williamsburg.
I'll be getting 20% off at Madewell in Williamsburg. Thanks to those girls. They had the best energy. They're literally lights of my life.
And they were letting us know that Sally Dar Griffin, our 2 guests ago. Wait, previous guests of the pod? No, two episodes ago. 2 episodes ago, Sally Dar Griffin, where did she leave from our house? She went right to the Williamsburg Madewell.
So that's really fun.
That was so crazy.
That's so fun for everybody involved.
I think we deserve 30% off for the way we just said Madewell.
I of course got sent Bagoo, and I was trying to get like a good photo to be like I can do PR and all.
Yeah, you got sent Bagoo.
Yeah, and it's all the most fucked up photos of me. Like if anybody saw these photos of me with my Bagoo,
it's a gorgeous bag.
They would block Bagoo and me. But I'll have to do a new shoot. Not.
It's a really great bag.
Yeah, it's so fun. I'm ready to be Bagoo girl, and also blue's gonna be my color of the summer.
Is Bagoo doing parade?
Is Bagoo doing parade?
Like micro influencer marketing?
I don't know. I have a feeling like some girl at Bagoo just like was being nice to me.
That's so amazing.
So thank you to Bagoo.
Well, that's like when I was dating that one twink and we thought that we got PR, but it's actually because I dated him. We found out weeks later.
You kissed a twink and they sent you moisturizer, which...
But we're like, thank God we finally got a PR package. It turned out I had to make out someone finally get a PR package.
If there's anything I know about the PR industry, it's about who you kiss.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's huge and major.
It's huge and major, but this is a huge and major episode. I think it's going to be... it's my favorite episode of the season so far.
It's the most comprehensive storylines of any episode, I think. Most interesting.
I have so much to say. I'm like, can we do 2 episodes on this episode?
We should do a separate episode for Hannah and Adam and then Abagail and
I
Ray.
literally need an entire hour to talk about Abagail and Ray.
I know.
But we'll have to figure out.
I have so much to say on that.
I know. I'm like, okay, well, we'll see what we cover in this episode. And if we miss anything, we'll pick back up next week.
One of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, what if we made it a 2-parter?
Well, we could talk about Kellogg's Diner for about 30 minutes.
I know.
Well, before we even get into the podcast, I wonder if we'll even bring it up. But Kellogg Diner is out of business since this came out, even though they went around 4 times being like, we're going out of business. And they never did. And they kept having grand reopenings.
And never forget when I went on a 7-hour date with a guy and we ended at Kellogg's Diner where they got eggs Benedict and I walked home.
But Kellogg Diner during its prime had 7 ghost kitchens running outside of it.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine having 7 ghost kitchens and you still go out of business?
That is so sad, but Uber takes a lot. And with that, let's cross this off to our guest.
Joining us on the couch today, it's the one and only. You know her from depths of Wikipedia. You know her from Perpetual Stew. Freak the hell out right now for Annie Rauwerda.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited.
Oh my God, I can't believe you biked here. That's so brave.
You bike your mules even.
I did, and it's so hot, but I had to do it. The transit options were not great. Something was up. Oh well, I made it, and it's great to be here.
Well, because the buses don't want to run when it's hot out.
Does that happen?
I don't know, it doesn't, but I love a bus driver.
But you know what? My street had recycling and trash last night, and I think it was too hot. They didn't want to come, so all of the street is just like piles of recycling and trash.
Really? It's a valid excuse.
It's 90 degrees out.
If calling you twice a day, warning you how hot it's going to be outside, it's like, you listen.
Do they call you?
They love to call me.
I've never gotten any calls.
No one's calling me.
Why are they calling me nonstop?
Mom,
it's always calm down.
I'm trying to get affordable tickets to the Jellicle Ball Cats remake thing.
Oh, I see. It's beautiful.
And they have a number where people under 30 can call to get $30 tickets. But I'm like, no one under 30 will call. Because we're afraid to call. But I was brave enough and I did it. But they sent me the voicemail. So it's like...
Maybe people are too brave to call.
I know. Well...
People will call for a deal. I will say that.
Do you think? I felt, as I was calling the number, I was like, no one's ever been this brave before.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Okay, so we thought you'd be perfect for this episode because of good soup, perpetual soup. Kind of the modern day.
Yeah.
Well, great planning. And the perpetual stew, I should explain it.
Please.
Okay, last year, I cooked a stew for a couple months straight. If you keep cooking it, it never grows bacteria because it's too hot. And so I just kept it on high on a crock pot, and then it got a lot of attention partially on purpose. Like, I wasn't keeping it a secret, but it got way more attention than I anticipated. And so then there would be these weekly, like, stew events where tons of people would show up in a park and bring ingredients. And then I would bring, like, vats of stew. And it ended up being really wholesome and sweet. I definitely met a lot of people. And also, there were random people that met the stew that fell in love.
Oh my god, you're literally a matchmaker.
And there are, like, group chats that were born and friend groups and stuff. So I do think that, it wasn't totally just, like, this empty gimmick. But yeah, it was a lot of work. And then I had to end.
You changed hearts and minds. You gotta do a summer version, like a perpetual.
Yeah, gazpacho.
Well, it was in the summer, which was controversial. Some people online were like, ew, it's not stew season. But I don't think there is such a thing as stew season.
Stew's all year.
Wait, what's the craziest thing someone brought?
I got that question a lot, and now it's crazy. Like, a year has gone by, and I've forgotten the names again of all the obscure root vegetables. People brought just, like, the most random tubers.
Tubers?
You know, like, potato variants. You know how there's, like, a bunch of random roots that have special names?
Right.
People brought so many of those, and I would just be sitting there, like, at home. YouTubers. Oh, no, not a human sacrifice. That would be a headline.
There's a few I can think about.
Yeah, I'm like, Vulture would finally cover it if you had a person in there.
And then it got into the news. I saw through controversy that someone got sick and had to go to the hospital, but I'm guessing this wasn't true.
Whoa. Okay, so that wasn't ever on the news because it was a tweet, and then in the follow-up tweet, she said, "I'm JK. This was from 3 weeks ago." And so, yeah, it was very funny. I do think it was funny. Like, I laughed, and I think it was fine to make the joke. A lot of people were doing that. Like, this is how the next COVID variant starts. But yeah, I was like, oh no, people are gonna. I'm like, I actually poisoned someone, and no one ever reported getting sick. I promise, guys. I promise.
Do you think to me it was like a cultural phenomenon worldwide? But I'm like, was it just us in Bushwick that were freaking out?
It might have been. But do you think people in Boston heard about this?
I mean, there were certainly some people in Boston.
Like, did our UK listeners know about the perpetual stew? Comment down below.
Well, that's beautiful. Well, yeah. We did get to serve you soup before you came. I give you the option of gazpacho and the easiest soup in America to make, egg drop.
According to the headline.
According to the headline. Reading this article, though, to make this soup, it was a woman's whole history. Her Chinese American upbringing.
And the classic, like, SEO sacrifice that all the food bloggers have to make.
I know.
I hope that now that Google search is weird and feels like it's reaching the end, I haven't really thought about this, but I wonder how finding recipes will change.
You kind of just ask ChatGPT to, like, give you a recipe.
No, but then they're telling you to put glue in your pasta sauce.
Honey, I think you put that in your stew as well.
I'm not having any ChatGPT recipes anytime soon.
I love having to scroll on, like, a WordPress blog from, like, 2007 of a woman being like, "This is the best cookie you'll ever eat," and I'm like, I trust you, Caitlin.
Well, because I like my recipes to have a long-winded story.
Well, I love pressing jump to recipe. It's so fun to watch it jump. But enough about stews, enough about soup. Let's get into the episode.
Well, how did you find Girls?
Oh, yeah.
I watched a couple episodes in high school. It didn't stick. And then I rewatched it earlier in 2024. But I sped through it in, I don't know, a month or two.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's a right way to watch this show. Just, like, put your head down and watch 40 episodes a night and then go to sleep.
I haven't done that in a long time. I'm usually not such a TV rat. Like, I have many other things that I spend a bunch of time on that are stupid. But I, am usually not one to just, go crazy binge mode. But for Girls, I did.
Okay, this is season 6, episode 8. What are we up to with Adam, and what's he up to now?
Exactly. There's no other the title of the show has been a sentence except for this one, and it went ahead to be one of the longest sentences.
Well, the bonus features Lena and Judd called after writing the episode, and Lena was like, "Let's call it one last hurrah," and Judd was like, "Let's call it
What Will We Do This Time with Adam?"
Yes.
Season 6, episode 8, and away we go. Jessa and Adam have a serious conversation where Adam's like, you know what? Now that Hannah's pregnant, I don't know if I can do this relationship because I have to return to her and help her out with her baby, even though it's not mine. Then we see Elijah and Hannah in their apartment as they're sweating to death because Elijah doesn't have a single bone in his body to fix anything, and Hannah's so pregnant and feels really terrible about it. So she's trying her best to stay cool by going to a bodega to get icy pops.
And then she's buying popsicles. Who walks in? Adam. She's like, oh, great. Adam's like, I actually want to raise your baby with you. And she said, what? And then they have a magical day together. They have sex. That's so sweet, like old times. And then they eventually end up kind of at Kellogg's Diner eating soup, where they realize, like, they actually don't have so much in common anymore, and that it actually won't work out, and they cry, and it's so bittersweet. And then Jess is, of course, devastated and is really acting like she did in the second episode of the series, where she just goes to a bar and tries to fuck a random guy, but this time, like, it doesn't work.
Okay, well, you guys forgot the B plot, which is that Ray and Shosh, who's looking so beautiful. I think she's always beautiful, but she's so attractive and, like, gorgeous and just radiant after Japan. She and Ray are hanging out, and then who arrives but Abagail, the random former boss. And Shosh is like, Ray, you're gonna hate her. Well, actually, then what happened was Ray didn't hate her. I wrote this line down because I really liked it, but Ray, said to Abigail, my favorite TV show as a kid was a Russian cartoon about a bowl of borscht that had lost his father. And then they just talked about TV and stuff, and then they got drinks, and they just bonded so hard. They had this question, Abigail had this question, and it was like, would you rather live in a really ugly building with a view of a beautiful building, or would you rather live in a beautiful building with a view of an ugly building? And Shosh was just so confused, like, what? And just disinterested. And Ray is like, he looks like he's about to cry. He's like, oh, that's my question. And then Shosh gets it wrong, according to Abigail and Ray. She says she would rather live in the ugly building
facing the beautiful.
Yeah, but they're like, no, you have to make yourself beautiful. You can't ignore your own problems. They go off into the sunset and go onto a carousel. Okay, meanwhile, Hannah and Adam are eating soup, and Adam is like, hey, we should get married so that we can apply for an art house together because there's better benefits, which is the least romantic, least dramatic way to propose. And Hannah, in the truly incredible feat of acting, she just breaks down into tears. And in the moment when I was watching, I was like, oh, yay, they're getting married. But then quickly you learn, this is sad tears. And then he's like, so what are we doing after this? And then the famous line, good soup. And then the sound transitions into like a carnival noise, which is like, it sounds like a clownish behavior association. And then you see the shot of, oh my God, Ray and Abigail are on the carousel, and then they kiss. That ends. That was so long.
And that was 1 minute. Also, Adam talks to Jess outside a window and is like, hey, can I come up? And she's like, yeah, of course. So, signaling that they're going to stay.
And Jessa really wants premium channels, but she can't get them. She just wants the exclusive kind.
And she barfs, which makes you think she's pregnant.
I had the same thought, but I'm also like, she's just like sick of whatever is happening.
I'm saying she's lovesick.
Also, Adam said, for I believe the last time, I think he says shit in an annoying way. He's always like, shit! And he did that, I think, for the last time when he was outside and he had to go back to Jessa.
He's not in the next one.
Wait, and when the hell, what was Laird up to walking in?
Oh, right, and Laird actually walks into the apartment after he finds out the news that Hannah's gonna have a baby. He's like, actually, I've been put on this earth to actually raise your child because I'm suffering raising mine right now.
I did not like Laird being in the episode. I was like, leave him out of this.
I thought it was funny.
All right.
I laughed for a second. Well, now we have an amazing question for you. Girl,
what girl are you?
I don't think I've ever been asked that.
We hope not.
With so much enthusiasm. Before I watched the show, people told me that I was a Jessa.
Oh,
and
really?
then I went on the subreddit and I saw a post that said, I'm paraphrasing, if you actually know a Jessa, and most people don't, you should run away because she is toxic and she shouldn't be in your life. And then I got really nervous. But then I went back to my friend and she said, no, you're just a Hannah with touches of Jessa. And my friend was like, everyone's, mostly Hannah with just little touches of the other ones.
I think this show you could be more of one of the specific characters, but we look at a show like Sex and the City where everyone's a character with an ex to someone else. But like these characters are more nuanced than those, so it does lend yourself. It's like I've seen people that are pure Marnies walking around in this world. Not even a touch of
Taylor
on them. Taylor Swift, exactly.
Lena Dunham confirmed.
Confirmed.
There's no leaving the allegations.
And girl, what girl are you?
So I'm gonna go ahead and be Abigail this episode.
I know that was an option.
Yeah, I love that crazy girl. When she shows up in the street and she said, "We're getting drinks," I'm so like that. Like I'm like, oh, so we're all going out, I guess. And then she's just so random sauce. She's having so much fun. Like her air of whimsy. I'm feeling really whimsical this month.
I hate to say this when you ask me a question.
Girl, what girl are
I'm
you?
Abigail.
You can't be.
Please.
No.
I wrote it down in my notes.
I'm Abigail.
Well, like, I do walk around all of Brooklyn with 100 different layers on, even when it's 8,000 degrees outside.
You would braid your hair like that if you could.
I would braid my hair like that. I think I would also eat my quinoa salad before everyone else, and then I'd laugh at Shoshanna if she tries to give her his answer.
I'm just like, by the way, when Shoshanna's freaking out, like, why would you like Abigail? It's like Abigail is so like season 1 Shosh. Like, of course Ray's so gonna fall in love. Like, Ray loves a girl who's excited about life.
And Ray's such a fun spirit. I can't get up. I think it's like Adie Bryant really is my favorite actress of all time.
Let's lead into Lena. Should we start with the B plot?
Let's start with B plot and dabbing into A plot.
Okay, so Ray and Shosh, we haven't even seen Shosh for like 2 episodes because she went to Jamba Jeans and like freaked out and was like, I'm so tired of everybody. So we've taken a beat with her, but she's back.
She's in such a better mood.
She's not hanging out with the girls though. She's just hanging out with boy, Ray. And they're having the time of their life. They're kikiing, even though Shoshanna's like, maybe pull it with like the history of Brooklyn.
Exactly.
But then Abigail sweeps in and is like, I actually think it's beautiful that you want to have a podcast about the history of Brooklyn from old people's lens. And so then they meet. Wow, how are we feeling about the Ray and Abigail of it all?
I wrote down some of the questions that they asked to the random people on the street.
Oh, you did?
Because they were really interesting questions, and I was like, wait, I would love to watch this oral history, but then they didn't show the answers. It was like, they found these people that were 90 years old on the street, and they were like, what was your typical Friday night in Brooklyn? Did a boy ever get in between you and your friends?
So funny.
What were your outfits like? And then the one time we got an answer was when Abigail asked, how has the neighborhood changed? And the answer was, there are SUVs now. Which isn't that, oh, come on, you could have gotten into it.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, so that's how I felt. I mean, it was like silly and a little bit obnoxious, and I don't know if they would have been received well by all the people that were just trying to sit and enjoy their afternoons, but it was very sweet. It was very sweet to see them.
Yeah, that lens of the show is like, I can never go up to an old person now and kind of ask them what their thoughts of Brooklyn's changed last 90 years, but it's great that they could.
I just don't know if that would be
exactly.
respectful.
I don't think it would be so kind.
I just think the way we talk would be bullying to them. They'd be like, I don't get paid for this. But I think Ray and Abigail's thing is so beautiful because it is like we're closing the chapter of the series and we're like, what is Ray's next steps? Like, he just inherited a coffee franchise. That's awesome.
And a few properties.
Yeah, so he's like randomly loaded, which is cool because he's been homeless for most of the show.
Yeah, I love his conversation where he's like, anyone with an inheritance is the worst thing to ever have to this country. Everyone should earn what they have. That's why I'm going to go around all of Brooklyn asking old people their life stories without their real permission.
It's cool that he feels guilty. And like, boys should feel guilty when they get stuff for
when they get a coffee empire.
Yeah, when they get a coffee empire for being lazy. Like, I'm so mad at him still. It's 6 seasons of me hating Ray. But I do love Ray and Abigail. Like, Abigail, of course, brings out like the whimsy in Ray, and they're just having so much fun at the cafe when Shoshanna's third wheeling. It's beautiful.
It really is beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, also they went to Maison Premiere. I don't know if you caught that.
What is it?
It's Maison Premiere. It's in Williamsburg. It's on Bedford Avenue. And I love this place because Vanessa Hudgens, her kitchen in LA, is themed as Maison Premiere, which is a New Orleans themed restaurant the theme of that restaurant is 1970s New Orleans. So Vanessa Hudgens styled her kitchen based off a restaurant that styled itself after 1970s New Orleans.
Wait, and when? And how does this relate to this episode?
Kids are eating quinoa salads there.
At the
Maison
New Orleans
Premiere.
themes. Oh, got it. Where is that?
It's on Bedford Avenue in Williamsburg.
Cute. We should go.
We should go. It's so expensive.
I really hate season 6, what they're writing about Shoshanna. It's like, go girl, give us nothing.
I know, but a lot of people actually look at this as her, like, redemption arc. Like, they're like, I'm season 6 Shoshanna because I'm so mature, I'm putting down boundaries. But, like, when you take a deeper look into the show, she's deeply unhappy. She's losing all her friendship. Sure, she gets married at some point, but, like, at what cost?
She does?
She gets engaged to some guy that.
Oh, right. It's crazy. I forgot about that. I forgot that even happened.
Literally. It's so intimate.
We haven't even, that's literally the next episode, and, like, we haven't even heard about this guy yet. That's crazy. She's fucking nuts, and she's, like, pretending she's so holier than thou. I'm like, girl, you're fucking boring, and you're not up to much. Let's hop over to Marnie. She's not in it next.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the very first scene of the show. So, Jessa and Adam, they've been together a while now. They just made a movie together. And it brought up some stuff for Jessa where she's realizing, like, maybe her relationship with Adam isn't so special and that, like, Hannah and Adam had kind of a relationship that was real. Cut to Adam being like, I want to go raise my ex-girlfriend's child. And I know you're going to be pissed at me, but I have to do it. And she just immediately puts on her kimono and is like, that's no problem. I feel normal about this.
And she had a line where she was like, ugh, I don't care. I'm not a zookeeper.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Right. And then she goes up in a toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's so classic Jessa being like, left by her dad, left by everybody in her life, abandoned. So she's so used to being abandoned. And of course, like, the way she deals with that is pretending she doesn't care. And then it's so crazy to see, like, she walks into, like, the same bar to get drunk.
It's a different
episode
bar.
2. Different bar.
Same premise.
She's smoking. She's like, I'm going to fuck a random dude in the bathroom and it'll fix everything. But then she just breaks down and starts crying and is like, I don't want you.
Yeah.
And then just sobs. It's the saddest thing I ever watched.
Yeah, really. I mean, it's like the...
And Dangerous Woman by Ariana Grande was playing.
Literally.
Certainly that was new at the time.
Oh,
right,
yeah, they
exactly.
paid
As long as it
premium.
didn't seem that old.
I know, I'm like, that came out in 2022, so...
Well,
I do the math in my head. Yeah, I really feel for Jessa.
Yeah, I mean, this is where you're saying this does parallel episode 2 of HBO.
When she gets the abortion, or when she realizes she's not pregnant.
Well, that's very playful. Like, she actually has sex with that man in that specific scene. Like, she gets milk at this bar. She takes a guy,
a
white Russian, but, like, calls it milk when someone asks her what she's drinking. And then she takes this guy to the bathroom and they have sex. But this one is, like, purely fantasy. She, like, actually can't escape the grasp of Adam through sex, even the fantasy of sex.
It was hard to watch. I went on Reddit to see if anyone had great insights before I came on this podcast. And one woman commented on the episode thread something that was so, as somebody who has been called Jessa by other people, was very concerning to me. I think this woman that commented, I'm saying woman, I don't know, it was somebody that...
You can only
I always forget that people that aren't girls watch girls. Okay. Jessa is more than just quirky or a little imbalanced. If she were in my care, so I think this person's like a doctor, I would recommend inpatient therapy. She's heading straight for the needle. But yeah, that was one.
I mean, it is so evil of Adam to do that.
The big thing is that she feels like she found stability with Adam. Like, she feels like this is her person in a lot of ways, or at least that's what she's claiming. And we haven't seen her have that genuine reaction towards, like, anyone else or anyone else she's dated in this show. It's always been, like, very fling energy. And this is the first time you really see her wanting to commit to someone.
And to have that person, like, backstab her like that, I mean, I'm pissed. And then it's, like, not to bring up Girls So Confusing. It's so the Charlie XCX Lord single, where it's, like, then Adam and Hannah are talking, and the first question Hannah asks is, like, what's it like to fuck somebody with, like, such a perfect body that's so beautiful and cool, where it's, like, Jessa's, like, over here about to kill herself because Adam's crawling back to Hannah, and all Hannah can think is, like, that girl's so much more perfect than me. It's so what being a girl is all about.
And it's so confusing, by the way.
Adam also did something that was extremely honest, maybe too forward. When he announced to Jessa that he was going to pursue Hannah and raise Hannah's baby before he had even asked Hannah if he could raise her baby. I don't know if I would have done it in that order. I think I would have probably just asked Hannah before I blew up my relationship.
Insane behavior. He's an insane person.
That's actually really great now.
Why did he do that? It was like he was sabotaging things with Jessa. But then he came back. When he came back to his apartment with Jessa, as I said before, he did the big old shit. I can't really do it, but
no, that was really good.
Just has a way of.
He's so obsessed with fatherhood, like the way he's like obsessed with his sister Caroline's baby and like showing up for her in that way. Like he has like such a like righteous view on like fatherhood and like parenthood. So it's almost like the only thing that's gonna bring him back to Hannah is that Hannah has a kid. It's so like, what is his trauma that he's like addicted to wanting to like give a kid a perfect life? And I'm like, why don't you like get a job? Literally, like, what is he doing? Where's his acting career headed? I'm pissed.
Literally, why do you think he wants to be a dad so bad? We never really get his backstory about his parents.
Well, he's obsessed with protecting people.
Yeah.
He only likes people if he can protect them. And that's kind of why he didn't really have, things didn't work out with, I forgot the name of that woman.
Mimi Rose Howard.
No, I think it was before Mimi Rose Howard.
The On All Fours girl?
Yeah.
Yeah,
she was really...
Because she was a girl
really
boss.
Confident. And also Mimi Rose was the same way, such a girl boss. And,
Adam wants to save a girl. I mean, and that's why he went for Jessa, because he's like, I can save her too.
And he was so upset when Mimi Rose had an abortion.
Yeah.
I know, for someone to save women, he, picks the strongest among them. It's like Mimi Rose Howard, a woman who accomplished a TED Talk by the time she was 13.
I guess it does make sense that he dives back into Hannah when he finds out that she's going to be a single mother in New York City with barely any money or resources. It's like, oh, finally this girl needs me again. Whereas when she was in Iowa getting her master's degree, It was like, I guess she doesn't fucking need me. She's going to be a fucking poet.
Do you think because he's so tortured, he wants to do anything to escape himself? And sometimes it is taking care of those women, but now here's even a bigger thing he could take care of, which is a baby. He has that line with Hannah in that hardware store. He's like, I can't wait to be a father. Just be outside of yourself for a second and not to just think about yourself.
Yeah, it's an escape, so he doesn't have to figure out his own thing.
Right,
He's
exactly.
My new thing can be raising this kid, and that's something that society will think that I'm a good person for doing. So I don't have to do the inner work to decide what I want my life to look like. I can just focus on this kid. Okay, Adam and Hannah. It is so fun because I think as a viewer, we really do, this is the big love story of the entire series. So we can't just, end the series with them not having, a moment of, closure. That would be crazy. So it is fun that they give us this episode.
Right. I think a very specific note here is that they immediately go from this argument that Hannah's having with Adam inside the bodega where she's like, what are you doing here? You're going to make a sequel of me and for your movie and cast someone who did a terrible job again. And he's like, actually I want to raise your baby. And immediately fast forward to them having sex in bed and Hannah's laughing. And then Hannah asks Adam, what is it like to have sex with Jessa? And what is his response?
She laughs
a lot. But you know what she was doing 10 seconds earlier? Laughing in bed with Adam while they had sex. No offense.
Okay, well, tweet goes viral. Yeah.
There's a lot of people that we didn't get very much closure with that I would love to check in on. For example, the one actor from The Bear who married Jessa. What is his life like? What do his parents talk about? I would love for her to just run into him and say hi in the street or something to know he's alive.
Wait,
that would be fun.
Who?
The guy she marries, I don't know if he's in The Bear though.
Oh, are you talking about Desi or?
No.
Oh shoot! You know what? I'm sorry. Oh, all the viewers are good. I got mixed up. He's not from The Bear. I was mixing Desi, a random husband,
with that Irish guy.
I know they do look a lot.
This season one.
They're both just kind of irrelevant husbands that shouldn't have been husbands.
There's too many pregnancies and husbands in this show.
Look, to me, their faces just don't look very different. I don't know.
Well, we could say a lot on that.
This is actually my entire life story because 3 times in the last month, I've went up to somebody. I've been like, hi, I don't think we've met. I'm Amelia. And they're like, we've definitely met. We've had many conversations. And it's all just because every guy looks the same and they're all named Matt. Sorry.
It's true.
It's not a problem.
I do want to know how things are going with that guy though. And also, did we really hear anything from Desi? He just seems
said
like
audio smarty last episode, and that's the end of that. He like walked off drunk and high.
It seemed like he was gonna do bad concerning 911 worthy self-destructive behavior. I was concerned. I was like, he's gonna do something really bad. I don't know.
We need an 11th episode of the 6th season where we wellness check all the boys.
There's so many people I want to check out. Like, I want to know what Taco's story is from season 1. I'd love to know what they're up to.
They're dating Kate Berlant. Well, not anymore.
Yeah, they should do like a 10 years later.
They should, and we always say this.
Yeah, and it'll be called Women.
Thank God.
Although I don't know if I would want it to be a full series because those always seem to fall flat. But if it was just like a one night only special,
I'm just like we've been theorizing about this, like the woman movie, but it's like would they all just have to be like fucked up in 35? Because that is what millennials tend to be up to right now.
Well, I think Hannah would be just like settled down, living the life that her mother lived. 2. Yeah.
Or 3 even.
Or 3. I don't know.
Do you think Hannah and Adam should end up together? No.
Definitely not.
Do you?
I hope she finds love and faster. No.
Yeah, no. I
mean, if they couldn't make it work in this specific moment where like she's filled with so much joy and happiness and immediately turns to complete like sadness and dismay about the situations, like they're never gonna figure it out. Like this was their best chance and their last chance.
It sucks that the past is the past. It's like when you're like, okay, I worked at a summer camp one summer and I met all these girls and I was like, this is so fun. And then like we met up in Toronto for like lunch like 9 months later for an Ed Sheeran concert, right? Aww. And it's like the magic of camp was what held us together. And it sucks like when you reconnect and you're so excited because all your memories are so good, especially like rose-colored glasses. Like there's been enough time apart where Adam and Hannah are really only thinking about like what they loved about each other rather than like what was wrong. But it's so devastating to like sit down and get a meal with somebody and be like, oh, like whatever we had is gone. Like I find out with so many like friends from college, like they'll come to the city and I'll like get breakfast with them and I'll be like, okay, the love is gone.
I know circumstances change.
Yeah.
That's kind of a great example of you doing Adam and Lena.
Yeah.
It really is.
Okay, I will say I've had like weird encounters with people when I'm in a different situation than the way we usually hung out that have made me really question things. But then you'll hang out with them again and things will be back. So I don't know. I don't think you should ever.
You think I should just go to lunch one more time?
I don't think you should pass serious judgment until you've hung out twice, 3 times.
Oh my God.
Because sometimes it's
You're
just
blowing my mind.
Sometimes it's just that it's been a long time. And it's like the time was what made it weird. And then you hang out again and it's just like
it's back to normal.
There are mistakes. Nothing feels as weird. It's just cash. Anyway, I've had this happen multiple times and yeah.
Wait, you're actually blowing my mind because I'm always like, well, it's over, but it's like, no, it's just a new beginning.
And it doesn't have to be like you can also, of course, do the thing where it's like you're just the friends that hang out every few months.
A catch-up friend.
But I still think it's worth having those.
There's some important friends you should just like.
This is a call to action for the listeners out there.
Reach out. Be Lord, be Charlie. Reach out.
Hang out with your old friends. I think it feels like when I hang out with friends that know me from a long time ago, from a part of my life that I don't frequently even think about, it feels like very healing. Like it feels like deeply healthy. And when Hannah reconnects with Jessa in the next episode, spoiler, I kind of got that vicariously. It's just really nice. Oh.
It is nice. And I think it is nice that Hannah and Adam are able to both mutually accept in the moment, like, that they're on the same page and, like, deal with it, even though it's so devastating and sad, and watching Lena cry gets me every fucking time. I'm crying right now.
Her lip quiver in Kellogg's Diner is one of the most amazing pieces of acting I've ever seen. About if someone's going to do a monologue, I just wanted to be a lip quiver for an audition because that was so fantastic and said so much more than any text could.
I also think that, like, Adam doing this will set him and Jessa on a healthy path. Is that crazy to say?
I don't know. I'm really rooting for Adam and Jessa. I thought they were sweet together.
I think they are sweet together, and I think they could help each other a lot, and they just need to, yes, it's a complicated relationship, but I think there's a lot of love.
Yeah, but how could you ever trust someone who's like, hi, I'm now going to leave you because my first option's pregnant, and I think it's my opportunity to go back.
I definitely think that like they're both terrible relationship partners in different ways. But I think they have a level of toxicness that matches each other. They seem really happy when they're around each other, except for when they're not. And I liked it. I just never really totally was on board with Lena Dunham and Adam. He's just so annoying to me sometimes when he got really serious about acting and whatever. And then just wrote her off. I didn't like that. She doesn't really seem to have like a ton of other interests besides her. So there's always been something about him that gave me the ick. But when I saw him and Hannah together, I was like, all right, whatever. But yeah, I felt kind of like meh about them being together in the first place. But then the breakup, I also felt whatever about, because I didn't quite see where things had soured. And I feel like I see this all the time with my friends. Sometimes there's breakups where from the outside you just don't quite get it. Maybe even on the inside they don't quite get it. Maybe someone just kind of like made a decision or had been teetering on the edge for a long time and just like made the call. But yeah, that's kind of how I felt about them. From my perspective, I was like, meh. It was sweet only because it had been so long.
Well, because love
that's not really an advanced or like deep thought or anything. That's just my opinion.
I think it is. Yeah. I love the popsicles for 3 days.
I know.
Meal prepping at a bodega is so smart. Like, sometimes you can buy 2 blueberry Pop-Tarts or you could buy an 8-pack of blueberry Pop-Tarts, both at the same bodega. And it's like, what are you going to do, girl?
I know, but isn't the magic going to bodegas? You can like, I like to have multiple purchases there. Like, your whole thing is you're supposed to build kinship with your bodega.
With Amir?
With Amir, I was going to even say. But it's like, how can she build kinship if she's stockpiling at the bodega once a week?
That scene is so good. Like, we don't need to talk outside, Adam. Like, Amir is my closest friend. Whatever you're going to say to me, say it in front of him.
Wow, I didn't really clock that, but now I'm realizing, yeah, she wasn't lying. They actually are friends.
Literally.
Have either of you had a relationship with the bodega guy? It's my only dream and I have yet to achieve.
Oh, it's easy to achieve, I think. I have, but I just think that you have to ask them how things are going, and if they respond positively, then like the next time you like remember their name or whatever. Yeah. I think the main thing is like once you, well, I guess you don't have to know their name. There's a lot of stories about people that have just been relying on boss for years. But once I learned my guy's name on like the 5th visit, from there it just felt like easy.
Did you ask him his name and then he told you the classic way?
Yeah. That classic way.
Normal friendship route.
What is your name? It's very Mimi Rose, tell me your name.
It is. Anything else we want to say on the Adam, Jessa, Lena of it all?
I just think it's so funny that
there's some opportunity missed.
Right.
And it's
fun.
Hannah's so curious about sex with Jessa's body. Like, Hannah has an obsession with Jessa and her sexuality. Like, they should explore that together.
Everyone's minds are just turbulent in this moment. It is just a carnival of disasters. They should have added one more.
They should have added one more.
It would be the perfect way for the show to end if they all had a 3-way.
I'd
never be happy with that, the season finale, honestly.
There would totally be a threesome in a sequel. Girl, get your clock. It's rapid fire time. We're going to ask you a series of rapid fire questions. Please answer them as quickly as you can. Okay. There's no wrong answer.
Are you a schoolgirl or are you going to get schooled girl?
I'm a schoolgirl.
What's your favorite utensil?
Fork.
Are you the voice of a generation or a voice of a generation?
You just said the same thing twice.
Are you a voice of your generation or a voice of a generation?
A voice of a generation.
Would you rather live in an ugly building with a view of a gorgeous building or a gorgeous building with a view of an ugly building?
Ugly building with a view of a gorgeous building.
Of course.
It's the difference between structure and beauty.
What do you think the title of the Russian animated borscht cartoon Ray watches?
Smelly schmuck.
What's it like to fuck Jessa?
She laughs so much. But I bet she also is a throat goat.
Period.
Oh, period. Are you the sleepover king?
Yeah.
What's the most good soup you ever had?
I had a ravioli soup from a supermarket one time that was amazing. I was so hungry.
Oh my god, I love when you're so hungry and you eat something from like a random spot and you're like, this is the best thing I've ever had in my life.
Random grocery store on a road trip.
And you like take your friends back there and you're like, well, it was better the last time. How many ice pops do you need for 3 day supply?
0. Don't like them.
You don't like ice?
They just don't really do very much for me.
So we'll be ending the episode right now. Bye. Just kidding.
This brings us to our last segment. That outfit in Brooklyn. That's where you compare Brooklyn then versus Brooklyn now.
Wait, also speaking of outfits, we didn't mention that Jessa wore a fur bikini to the bar. That felt important.
I'm like, by the way, that outfit in Brooklyn is timeless. I would wear it right now. I literally was like, how can I Google how to buy this?
Yeah, but she's wearing mom jeans.
She looks so fucking hot. I'm like, this was definitely Jemima in her Pilates era. This girl is six pack.
She had how many kids had she had at that point of filming?
Two.
Yeah, it's crazy how she just kept popping them out.
I'm like, between seasons. Fucking girl boss. Her arms too. I'm like, she fucking lifts.
I know. She's so strong.
Well, all the girls famously were really into exercise because I stalked everybody's Instagram to grab like content, right? And there's so many of Allison Williams like on a Pilates machine being like, it's so important to do Pilates. And then of course Hannah loves to run, and Jemima's like, I hired this trainer.
Literally, what was Sasha doing? We can only speculate.
We'll never know. She was horseback riding.
Yeah, that's serious exercise, please.
But that outfit also, it was so fun to see in like the first episode or one of the first episodes. Yeah, in the pilot, Jess is wearing the kimono she puts on in this one. It's the red one. Where like back when she's like making a mood board with Shoshanna and smoking, and now she like throws it back on, but now she has short hair. It's like she's really great.
I love when they tie stuff together.
I met Jemima Kirk at something like a year ago, and we had an interaction that was so funny. And watching the show, it's like the interaction has been funnier in retrospect, knowing the character of Jessa, who was like, you know, famously simply based off of Jemima Kirk in real life. And
wait, tell us everything.
Okay, well, we did this. There was this, like, you know, everyone's doing readings. We did a reading, and she showed up, and we were just chatting, and I was in a group of people that were talking, and there was one girl near me, and Jemima and me, and the girl said, Jemima, I love your pants. I think I might have the same ones. What brand are they? And she's like, I don't know. And then my friend was offering brands, and she's like, no. They were very expensive. And she was like, ha ha ha. Like, not in a gloating way, just kind of in like a ugh, like I spent so much money on them way.
Right.
It was just, I don't know, to me it felt like it was so, it was very cool and honest, and
she's so real. She's one of the only real girls we have left in this town.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the only.
And I met her daughter, who was so sweet.
I met her daughter.
Are they cool as fuck? They're a tween now.
Yeah. She's like, I don't know, probably a middle schooler. She doesn't really, like, Jemima doesn't put her kids in the spotlight, which is probably good, but she just seemed like a normal 7th grader or whatever, 6th grader. I don't remember.
Shout out.
She was just like, can we get ice cream after? Can we go to this ice cream store? She was just being fun. But she was cute.
Get that girl Van Leeuwen, please.
I was so starstruck.
Yeah, I would be too.
That's like, it's like there's certain people that would starstruck me.
She just has the factor.
We want to get her on the pod, of course, and I'm like, but we might have, like, I don't even, if she sat on the couch, like, I'd just be like,
hey. I let her talk the whole time.
Yeah. Jemima, come on, girl.
Her Instagram stories it's kind of amazing how much of, I don't know if I can even say Renaissance, but she's everywhere. Her Instagram stories are
her
so
IG
Julia.
They run the meme world.
Well, no one in this whole world has been able to create a really viral moment on Instagram stories like she has. She's really the only person I've seen.
Vanessa Hudgens, when she was like, yeah, COVID's happening, yeah, people are gonna die.
That was really good.
That was kind of a viral moment, I would say, but in a bad way.
In a bad way.
This one, it's just like, are you queer? She's like, LOL, I guess. Sure, I guess.
This way we should be able to retweet stories.
I know. We just have to repost them on Grid and hope for the best. But I will say that outfit in Brooklyn, 3 Sons now. Yeah, I think there'd be more exploration.
Yeah, these people will be on field. At least one of the characters will be on field.
Jessa and Adam would totally have like a foursome with some random couple.
They seem so foursome forward. I can't believe we haven't seen it in the show.
I know. I also think, actually, do you think anything would change about the pregnancy now?
I don't know anything about the pregnancy.
Do you know? I think Hannah would start obsessively researching unschooling and then everyone in her life would talk her out of it.
That is so good.
Wait,
yeah,
what is
she was
unschooling though?
It's when you just you keep your kid at home as if you're homeschooling, but you don't teach them anything, and they just have to teach themselves. And so the argument for it is that they're like, you know, it's self-directed. They're only doing what they're interested in. But the argument against it is that in many cases the kids just don't learn anything, and they're screwed.
Well, there's so many kids on TikTok that are like grown up now being like, I was raised by like an unschooling mom and now I'm fucking stupid and I can't get into college because I don't know any of this math.
There's like a critical period for learning and you kind of missed it.
Yeah. But I totally think if Hannah and Adam stayed together, they would totally be into like an unschooling lifestyle for their kid. But then they'd probably be like, whatever, we'll put her in public school so she can
I think that they would just like obsess over it. Like first they would unschool, and then halfway through the school year they're like, no, we can't do this.
Yeah.
I think they would send their child to one of the outdoor preschools in Prospect Park, where the kids don't even set foot in the classroom. They're kind of outside for the whole school year.
It's like the summer camps in Texas where there's no indoor, and it's like really unsafe because it's 108 degrees. Like you need to be inside at some point, and they won't let us. I went to a summer camp like that for 1 week, and I was supposed to go all summer, and then my mom was like, I don't like it here for you. You're not coming back. And I was like, but next week I'm supposed to dance.
Who would they? I feel like somebody would become a 2024 Trump voter. Someone would turn.
Oh.
Do you think?
Jessa.
Marnie would, I bet.
Shoshanna. Once Shoshanna gets money though, like she's gonna want to give the Republican Party.
Shosh would be like, guys, it's just, you know, the lesser of two evils.
Totally.
Yeah, but she is such a Hillary Clinton girl.
You're right. I think it'd be Marnie for sure.
Yeah. Shoshanna's actually reminding people to vote for Joe Biden.
It's really interesting the people that have been like, not Trump, and then this time.
Oh really?
I don't know. It's like a weird. I feel like it's people that are disaffected.
Oh.
There is a desensitization situation going on. We never even talked about when Elijah and Hannah are like talking, they're sweating because of AC, whatever. And then Hannah's like being emotional, and Elijah immediately thinks she wants to abort the baby, even though she's like 6 months along or something. And Hannah has the line, I'm not getting an abortion, I'm having feelings, they're different. Like, those are two different things. It is so funny that Elijah's like, I think only there's 2 doctors in America that will give an abortion that late.
Even more correct now.
Even more correct now. Yeah, I can't believe Roe v. Wade was overturned. LOL. That is so crazy that happened.
It really is.
So yeah, maybe now it would make even more sense that she keeps the baby.
Wait, how did he get her to look so pregnant during this?
I was wondering. I looked online, and I suspected it was prosthetics because it looked so convincing to me. But people online seemed to think that it was just like angles and like water weight and pushing your stomach out.
Oh, really?
I don't know if I'm convinced, but maybe. And then other theories were that she gained weight for that episode and then lost it when she filmed episodes around it.
I think there was an effects team because I just saw Babes with Alana Glazer.
I was just reading Reddit comments, which is not reliable. Famously, it's one of the least reliable sources out there.
Well, it is confusing because when Caroline was pregnant, she was actually pregnant in real life, so it was just like her real body. They didn't have to fake anything. So it's like maybe Lena Dunham has a kid we don't know about.
I know. I was actually thinking about the same thing.
No,
she doesn't have a child, but yet she still was pregnant.
It'd be crazy if she got away with having a secret child
all this time
while putting it on TV. That'd be a scandal.
That'd be such a scandal. It's also like she would never do that. But is there anything else? I think I had one more thing written down.
It's just like Abigail's outfit in this is crazy, wearing a sequins jersey.
Oh my!
With like 8 different layers on.
Abigail's hairdo, Shoshanna's hairdo. She's doing like so many little twists. I'm like, it is so grown up Shoshanna. Like the hairstylist is totally like, okay, young Shoshanna season 1. It's gonna be a little bit funky. It's gonna be a little bit whatever. Whereas like this is like so girl boss. Like it's not silly. It's like I'm busy.
Yes, but always it is just the most. Like, my arms hurt just looking at the braids.
I know. I was like, can I copy this look for today's episode? And I was like, don't even try.
She also, the blonde, like the little blonde streaks, I think are so pretty. I think Shosh is so pretty all the time, but especially in this season.
I spent
love her blonde.
The entire episode, I was just like, damn, Sasha, man, it's the prettiest girl we have.
She was in Madame Web.
Well,
I
only
know.
the top half of her was. We never got to see her legs.
I haven't seen the movie. I just saw clips.
Well, on TikTok.
Like I don't remember
Everywhere,
where.
yeah.
It was somewhere online.
I hate that poor movie.
The last thing I was gonna say is when Shoshanna and Ray get in a fight on the bench because Ray keeps using air quotes. Air quotes are so out.
Oh really?
Yeah, I can't recall anybody air quoting me.
Are in, but the specific action of air quotes are out.
Yeah, like that is 2015.
But I think more than ever we're loving it. Hand gesture.
I think air quotes is just like when we were in that period of comedy where everything's like ironic, whereas like now we're in a post-ironic landscape. So it's like we don't air quote anymore.
Well, and I would also say that people have dropped their mask a little bit too and dropped the ADHD mask, so now hand gestures are bigger than ever.
Yeah.
Okay, as just a data point, I don't know. I'm still doing the occasional air quote just for.
You have to.
Okay, this is qualitative data
for just communication's sake. Like, you know, if I'm quoting the best soup in America or the easiest soup to make in America or something, that's an example where I might perhaps do it. But hey, I don't know. I do think you're right though. There's something about like mustaches and bacon, epic bacon, and fixie bicycles that is really associated with like like let's go get a good sandwich at McDonald's. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Oh god, I missed the past.
Well, even in this show specifically, like you can see the aging out of that whole genre, like of the mustaches and like epic bacon. Like that was so specific 2013.
This beer, which isn't an IPA, is so delicious.
Yeah, Helvetica's dead by the end.
Helvetica's dead at the end. Like 2017, you really do lose a lot of the cultures of the earlier 2000s. And it's great to like have that part of the show. Like we were commenting earlier, like how Dangerous Woman feels like such a modern song, and like 2017 feels a lot closer than 2012, like by about 20 years so.
Are you guys going through a thing where you're like 2015 was basically a decade ago? That's clinically insane. I'm feeling really nervous.
We'd have to talk about it here on the pod.
Okay, let's do
I've been seeing people online say that summer 2016 vibes were the best and that they wanted back.
I agree.
And when I look back on summer 2016, I just don't remember anything
it was Pokemon
that
Go.
special.
It was Pokemon Go that brought
I had fun that summer, but I had fun a bunch of other summers too.
That was the worst summer of my life. I worked for $5 at a movie theater where you deliver food, and I was in charge of drinks. And in Texas, the drinks are 80 ounces. And so I literally spent a summer just walking like 10 80-ounce cups of Diet Pepsi up and down like dark hallways. And I would always spill them. And I'd always be like, well, somebody has to clean this up.
I love your whole thing moving to New York and realizing every single part of your upbringing in Texas was so crazy and absurd.
Yeah, I thought I lived a normal life. Turns out not so much. But whatever.
This has been a perfect episode. Thank you so much for coming to our couch today.
Thanks for having me.
Where can the good people find you?
I'm on Left of Depths of Wikipedia or Annie Rau, R-A-U.
Love, guys. We'll be back next week with episode 9. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you.
Love
Bye.
you. Bye.